My name is Andrea Sagsveen. I found out I'm even tonight, but I think probably you'll find I'm more odd by the time I'm done talking. So at the 7 o'clock, I'll join Peter instead of Craig. Again, my name is Andrea Sagsveen, and I am a child of God, just like all of you. In addition, I've invented a new word, a YM teacher, which is a survival-type hybrid, I believe, of a wife, a mom, a teacher, and a mission trip leader. Some days, I'm more of a wife and a mom. Others, I focus more on being a teacher. And for a few precious weeks each year, I'm a mission trip leader in El Salvador. The most important identity I have, however, I know for sure, is as a child of God, who has been given many gifts that I intend to share as much as I can. I believe that all of you, too, have gifts that we can share with others. I've always had a firm belief this happened at the other one too. Thank you. I've always had a firm belief that I'm here on earth to make the world a better place. If I started the beginning of my journey when I was in about 3rd grade, I'd already decided that I needed to devote my life to what I could do for God here on earth. As a kid, considering I was like 8 years old, it came down to 2 professions. I could be a teacher or I could be a nun. I seriously contemplated my 2 choices, as best an 8-year-old Lutheran could, and decided that I did want to get married down the road and probably have kids, so being a nun was out. But it was interesting that in my mind, a person who had devoted their life to God and to making the world a better place didn't have to be a certain religion. So it didn't occur to me until much later in life that being a Lutheran nun would be going forth into a new frontier. However, then I was like, maybe there are really Lutheran nuns, and I Googled it, and there are Lutheran nuns, but they're in Germany. When I was in confirmation, I discovered the Bible verse in Corinthians. Now these 3 remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. That's what my life has been modeled after, showing love and caring to the people I meet and the people I've gotten to know really well. Right now, at this point in my life, I've been teaching elementary school for 17 years. My husband Dave and I have 3 boys. Dave and I will be celebrating our 20th anniversary this June. I consider that quite an accomplishment. Marriage is hard work. There are occasional times when I feel like the best wife ever. Supper's on the table, the house is picked up, the laundry's done, the kids have their chores finished up. But in reality, lately I've been chronically late home from work. I forgot to plan ahead for supper, and the house looks like it needs caution tape wrapped around the whole thing. I'm fortunate to have a husband who does more than his share of work around the house and with our boys. On top of that, Dave supports my wild ideas of sharing what we've been given with others, whether it be our time, our money, or other gifts that we've been given. As well, I feel so blessed to share my life with someone who is willing to give of his time and talents to serve God. When thinking of unconventional ways that we can share what God has given us, whether it be maybe with a donation that'll cut into our mad money, or each of us spending a week on a river somewhere in Wisconsin with our kids and a bunch of other people's kids, we usually start with the idea of there's no way we're going to be able to make that work. But a lot of times, there's no way we're going to be able to make that work. Changes to, I wonder if we really could do that. And then it turns into, let's try. Our 3 sons are Drew, Aaron, and Nathan. Dave and I spend much of our free time at home helping our boys. Right now we're helping Drew prepare for college in the fall. We're giving driving lessons to Aaron, our 14-year-old. You're doing a great job, by the way. Yeah, he's in the back. Playing basketball in the yard with our 11-year-old Nathan. Time has been, hands down, the #1 way that I've given to my kids' growth as Christians. I've been anything from a church school teacher to a writer, director, producer of church school music videos and Christmas programs to chaperoning youth events. Last summer, like Patrick, who talked last week, shared a story about being on the Amnicon for a week, I turned, there's no way I'm going to do that, to wonder if I really could do that, to I'll try. I played survive a week on a river with 10 youth in a canoe sleeping on the ground without a shower. If you look at the photos downstairs by the youth room, I'll be the one who wore the pink shirt and green shorts in every single picture. And I have to tell you that I dealt with Pastor Bob on week 3. After he'd been in the wilderness for 2 previous weeks, I spent a week with him on his last week when he was probably the most exhausted. It was quite a week, but I would do it again. Presently, the time that I spend with my kids has expanded from just like that church school hour when it's my turn to teach to spending time in the youth room on Monday and Wednesday evenings. Now, seriously, I don't know how it happened, but I think I've been accepted by the youth, right, as one of those cool old people. So I was kind of writing this up at home, like, yeah, I'm one of those cool old people. And my 18-year-old Drew walks by, and I said, hey, Drew, am I one of those cool old people who hangs around in the youth room? Doesn't even stop. No. Well, then I'm like, okay, what am I? And he said, oh, you're that lady who always brings a lot of stuff to church in a backpack and talks in Spanish. Well, you know, that kind of really concerns you because you don't want to be like hanging out in the youth room when you think you're cool and they're like, who's the weird lady? And what's she saying? So last week when I was hanging around in the youth room, I made sure to take a little bit of a poll to see, am I cool or just that lady who brings a lot of stuff? And I kind of got the both answer from most of the youth. So I guess I'll have to settle with being a cool old person who hangs out in the youth room and talks in Spanish. So maybe I'm not just cool, but at least the youth tolerate me, let me play cards with them, and hang out with them. And if you ever are considering doing something like that, it doesn't hurt to bring food, especially cookies from El Salvador. I've definitely seen a payoff in our children's spiritual journeys because Dave and I have spent time modeling how to be generous with what we've been given. My boys enjoy helping out at church. They've done anything from baking bars for funerals, to running the projection, to assisting with communion, to coordinating fundraisers, among other things. They have followed in mine and Dave's footsteps by starting with, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that. I'm only how old? To, I wonder if I really could do that. To, I'm going to try. I'm definitely and infinitely proud of how our boys have grown and continue to grow as the hands and feet of Christ. By far, right now, my biggest passion in ministry is giving my time to be a mission trip leader in El Salvador with the Partners in Faith. I've fallen in love with serving others outside of our country, especially the people of El Salvador. I've been down to El Salvador 5 times now in the past 2 years. And I'm leading 2 trips again this summer. The first time I went to El Salvador, I really didn't know what to expect, other than I'd be using a hammer a lot, and I didn't really know that much about building. But Rita, who is also a mission trip leader down to El Salvador, she was willing to take me on her team, and I thought, may as well try it out. But was I wrong about hammers and needing any construction experience? Shovels, buckets, and wheelbarrows are definitely the most popular tools that you would need on the construction site down there. So a typical Thrivent mission trip to El Salvador includes some relaxation and sightseeing, attending a Sunday morning church service at Cristo Rey Lutheran Church, and 5 days of working right alongside local people as you build the house of a family's dreams. And I don't kid you when I say that that house is smaller than a typical 2-car garage here. And this family is just excited to have that. People join a team that goes down to El Salvador for a lot of different reasons. Some people go down to experience a new culture. Some go down to practice or learn Spanish. That would be me. Some go down to play with the kids. That would be me too. Some go down also to teach English. I've done that a little bit too. These are absolutely acceptable reasons to join a team. But by far, the biggest reason people join a mission team like this is to build a house. Many people have said to me, though, there's no way I'm qualified to join a team to build a house. But I think you are. Remember, you can turn, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that, to, well, I wonder if I could do that, to, I'll try. So, since I'm a teacher, of course, I've devised a little skill test for you all. So, here we go. First, everyone, I know you're sitting down, can you put your hands like this? Okay, I'll wait. I'm good at wait time. I'm a teacher. Can you put your hands like this, please? Okay, now I want you to pretend like you're digging. Nice, nice. Okay. I also, now what I want you to try is this. Okay, now pretend like you're walking. Okay, you can handle a wheelbarrow then. Very nice, very nice. Okay. My next one is, pretend that you have a cement block about the size of a loaf of bread. Hold on to it. Okay? Now I want you to pass it to your neighbor. Excellent. Excellent so far. Very nice, very nice. I want to check your language skills a little bit. Can you say buenos dias? Buenos dias. Very good. How about ¿Cómo estás? Excellent. Gestures. Could you understand if I did this?
Go there.
Oh yeah, go there. What if I did this?
Stop.
Okay. What if I did this?
Come here.
Come here. Okay. All right. You guys got that part too. Wow. How about smile? Can I see your friendliest smile? That's just beautiful. Wow. Okay, so I have to say, you just passed the test. So you can do all of the work that would be required in El Salvador to build a habitat home. Very nice. I should really have asked you, though, to do that smile thing earlier because I'm like a lot less nervous now that I've seen your friendly smiles. I go down to El Salvador to be the hands and feet of Christ that will help a family in need to build a house. It's so hard, though, to explain that it's so much more than that. I've realized that when a team of volunteers come for a week to help build, the whole community embraces us with open arms. We're not just the hands and feet of Christ down there, but we're also a symbol of hope to everyone that we meet. And that's a lot of responsibility, that when people see you, they see hope. If I ever found a place to stop and really think about my priorities, it's in El Salvador. Some of the people of El Salvador have what we would consider so little for material possessions, but they have an abundance of love and caring for their neighbors and trust in God that they are so willing to share with these strange gringos that come down from the north. I come home from a trip wondering if I really need those brand new jeans. If I can really justify that dinner out, because that dinner out costs more than a Habitat house payment in El Salvador. And I also come back wondering when I can go back again. My friend put it well after her first trip to El Salvador. I told her, man, if I weren't married and raising kids here in the U.S., I would come back, get my affairs in order, quit my job, sell my things, and I would go to work for Habitat in El Salvador. Should have been a nun, right? Dang it. My friend, who also has a husband and family here in the U.S., said, Andrea, if I weren't married, I wouldn't have gotten on the plane to go back to the U.S. Meaning that she would have really stayed in El Salvador. And that speaks volumes to the experiences that volunteers and team members have had in El Salvador, and why El Salvador is the #1 Habitat for Humanity repeat destination. We are very lucky to have a sister church in that exact place, in that welcoming country. I invite you to consider joining the team that I'm leading down June 12th through 21st. I challenge you to turn, there's no way I'm going to be able to make that work, to, I wonder if I really could do that, to, I'll try. I'm still looking for a few more people for our team. You will never forget the impact you made on a family, as well as the impact that that family will make on you. Right now, at this moment, There is a family in El Salvador that has applied for a Habitat home. They're already praying for a mission team to come down to help build their home. You are already in their prayers. You will come back with stories that you won't get tired of telling, and you will have a huge desire to do more. In closing, my brothers and sisters in Christ, I found that by far being generous with the gifts that God has given me has enabled me to do what I decided I was going to do when I was 8 years old. I'm still trying to make the world a better place. I'm certainly not a perfect teacher, perfect wife, perfect mom, or perfect mission trip leader. I do know that the only thing that I can't fail at is being a child of God. God has blessed me beyond belief and has allowed me to share my blessings with others, whether it be leading a mission trip to one of the best places in the world, supporting my husband's wild ideas to share what we've been given, or being that cool lady who always brings a lot of stuff to church in a backpack and talks in Spanish to my kids. I encourage you to think of how you can share what God has blessed you with. Brothers and sisters in Christ, let's turn "there's no way I'm going to be able to do that" into "I wonder if I really could do that" to "I'm going to try." Thank you.